Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am checking my volumes for Mr. B because I forgot to do it. Wanted to go, we need to go ahead and give this guy a title. When I was at XRP Las Vegas, this guy who is crypto heavy, he wants the title of the official bodybuilder of the Digital Asset Investor channel, and so be it. Because we videoed a video to my son, because my son is also a meathead, and I think my son bench presses something like 320 pounds. This guy bench presses like 530 pounds. So we did a video to my son. I think I played it earlier. So he is now the official bodybuilder of the Digital Asset Investor channel. And if my son wants a similar title, he can be the official bodybuilder that is my son of the Digital Asset Investor channel. But he's going to have to bench press 500. No, I don't want him to bench press 530 pounds because I don't think that'd be good for baseball. All right. Our old buddy Gary Gensler was on CNBC today, basically laughing in Patrick McHenry and Tom Emmer's face. Because remember, Patrick McHenry threatened Gary. He was going to subpoena him if Gary doesn't start giving him what he wants. Gary never gave him what he wants. And so now Gary goes on shows like this and laughs in Patrick McHenry's face, because Patrick McHenry and Tom Emmer, all they do is send letters and do very stern tweets. So Gary laughs at them because there are no repercussions for Gary.
Lying in court, new evidence shows that Chair Gary Gensler himself misled Congress. The testimony to the Financial Services Committee last April, Chair Gensler refused to answer questions about the SEC's classification of Ether, and new court filings show this was an intentional attempt to misrepresent the Commission's position.
We speak to Congress directly in hearings like that, and also directly to members, and we share with them accurately what we're doing, so that the viewers can also understand we don't speak about whether we have an investigation or whether we don't have an investigation, and we don't speak about whether somebody is, in our opinion, not following the law unless we actually bring a case. So we stay quiet on many questions that you might ask at this live interview, or even
but ultimately should investors,
congressional hearing.
There's a lot of folks who bought Ethereum expecting that one day there will be potentially an ETF, and that it will be considered a genuine security that's tradable on these exchanges. Will that happen?
Again, that's something in front of our commission right now. We're a 5-member commission, and those filings will take up at the appropriate time.
Is that something from a timing perspective, though? This is an election year. This administration may be the administration come next year. It may not be the administration. How does that impact the work you're doing?
I'm just focused on how we can do the most for 330 million Americans. What we can do.
How we can hurt them the most. Let me translate for you, Gary. How we can let them all invest in various crypto while we sit back and watch, and then we come in and sue them and hurt all of those investors that we claim we want to protect. That's how he
drive efficiency.
And we do all of that so that we can get them to pay a toll, just like Tony Soprano.
Resiliency, competition in the equity markets, the treasury markets, the fixed income.
Because none of these crypto firms are any good to Gary unless he can suck a big bunch of money out of them.
Markets. And yes, also addressing some of the activity in the crypto markets where actors are not uniformly following the law. They just, there's a lot of people have lost their hard-earned funds in the field that you seem to be so fascinated.
Okay, I'm going to go to.
A lot of them are losing their hard-earned funds because he comes in and sues them after he lets them live for 8+ years. Check this out. This guy's a Bitcoin guy. Bitcoin ETH guy. XRP true value is $8 to $20 by 2026. That to me it's worth the true value. If the true value were known, the true value I would put in that range now, or without an SEC lawsuit long time ago. But 2026 is the easiest trade of my life. Historical precedent, powerhouse, institutional adoption, tsunami, market trends and utility explosion, future financial services demand, legal clarity, and partnerships will boom. Then this was the commencement speaker at Ohio State. This is funny.
Great investors are open-minded and understand things before other people. So I know this might feel polarizing, but I encourage you to keep an open mind right now. I see Bitcoin as a very misunderstood asset class.
He's getting laughed at and booed over Bitcoin, okay? I think that might be because the Ohio State students that are now educated understand what Jennifer, I don't know if I'm butchering your name, Jennifer, I'm sorry. I played this yesterday. Jennifer Aruri, those educated Ohio State students must know what she knows.
You have very strong opinions about Bitcoin in particular, do you not? Can you illustrate to me why that is so?
Well, first of all, I love that you're having this conversation. It's really great to see it take mainstream television. It is important. I know a lot of people are concerned about their money, and I think basically it comes back to a very basic fundamental of the life cycles of currencies. And as we're seeing now, this life cycle is coming to an end, this currency. And as history has shown us many years before, we'll always reset back to gold. It will never be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not scalable. Bitcoin cannot take on the traffic and this whole idea that it's some, value, store of value or digital gold. I know there's a lot of Bitcoin maxis out there that will hate me for saying this, but that just simply is not true. There is no intrinsic value of Bitcoin. I'm a very pro advocate for digital assets in the crypto space. I am extremely pro blockchain, but never Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin is being used as a trap, another Trojan horse. And as you and I have mentioned many times, I see them manipulating the prices of gold and silver to particularly keep the nominal price down so that banks have the ability to buy in and at these low manipulated prices. And then as you've seen the years of the narrative shift on Bitcoin, Bitcoin's a beta. Bitcoin was introduced after the last, 2008 crash. So then we bring in this exercise of digital currency. And at first it was the drug users and the cartel, and now they're picking it up and bringing it into mainstream. And a lot of people bought into the concept that it was outside the system. Neil, you and I know that's just simply not true. It's completely inside the system. When they created a Bitcoin ETF, they created an ability to short the market. They now are controlling the system.
Jennifer, can you explain?
So there's many.
Bingo. Check this out. You want to know how big? I saw just now that Brad Combs tweeted this. He said just under 700 XRP Army members in attendance. I'm blown away. Thank you to everyone who attended. XRP LV 25 planning has already started. Ooh, wow. Watch this. You think that there wasn't a lot of people there? Look at this. Folks, that's what you call a movement. That is a lot of people. Now, this right here, I literally was sitting next to my father who is the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel. And when Greg Kidd said this, I turned around, looked at my dad, and I said, "Did you hear what he just said?"
Well, when we talk about the U.S. has a couple things going for it. One is the U.S. dollar. It's the money of the world, right? Like English, like you heard what they said about English. If it's good enough for Jesus, it should be good enough for everyone, right? So this U.S. dollar could, when supported by crypto, work not just on these crummy 50-year-old ACH rails and business hours wire transfer services. This medium, traveling on things like the XRP ledger, this dollar could be the currency of the world. Why shouldn't it be? It already is in the traditional world. We just need the tokenized crypto rails form of it, and everybody can live in the Star Trek world. Like in Star Trek in the future, you're not really worried about people paying for dilithium crystals or tribbles, right? There's some currency, and it's in the background, and it moves around intergalactically between Cleons, the Federation, Romulans. We have that technology now. It didn't exist before. And so the U.S. can choose to lead, but if it doesn't lead, its sorry ass is going to be still in dollars, issued, run, overseen by people that live offshore. And so it is an absolute strategic imperative today for the U.S. to lead from the front rather than from behind. And so we have the technologies to do it. I believe there's resistance in pockets of the U.S. political system to that happening, but to me it's a strategic imperative, and I intend to bang the drum and make sure that the U.S. leads rather than lags or obstructs this amazing Star Trek-like future that's there for us.
Greg also had a good clip here about the importance. He basically said the Ripple case turned the tide for the entire industry. That means the XRP Army helped turn the tide for the entire industry.
Ripple, when it was sued by the SEC, instead of being another shakedown case and just paying them off, they fought. A lot of times you get your ass kicked, but so often bullies get put in their place. And Ripple and Brad and Chris showed up. I just want to say thank you. Think what this industry would be like today if Ripple didn't stand up to a bully, right? And stand up on a principled basis. We'd be in a very different world. All these other cases, that is the case that turned the tide. Everything else is piling on. And so I would like my life to be lived in that spirit. I will get my ass kicked many a time, but that's the good fight. And where else do you want to be than, in the good fight, even if you take a licking sometimes. I love it.
All righty. And then I wanted to show this. I can't remember if I showed you all this. This is a clip of the documentary right here, and it was put out by Snakey, and I was talking about how blown away I was by the documentary. This is just a short clip right here.
Buying something really, really solid.
A guy like me, who's been watching it since 2013, you immediately know that something's not right.
They had already had.
All right, I'm gonna go into DAIXRP.com, and I've got a discount for the people in the group. It's a good discount too. This is something that's very important. I'm gonna talk about it when we get in there. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. But here we go. You want this is going to be a 30% discount on something that's very useful. All right, here we go.